Peace. What's up, fam? We're going to talk about some health tonight. We're going to talk about some health. What was I going to say? Yeah, I like talking about health. I like talking about health because I like talking about health because that's my area. You know, when I'm talking about health, I feel smart. So yeah, I like talking about health. But don't ask me nothing about computers. I don't know nothing about computers. Okay, if you ask me something about computers, my brain's gonna just shut off. All right, I don't know nothing about no damn computers. You know what I'm saying? You programmers. I don't know nothing about no RAM. I don't know nothing about no. I don't know nothing about no motherboard, processor. It's not my area. Where do I start when it comes to health? Sometimes I just make stuff up as I go along, like I'm gonna do tonight. I'm just gonna make it up as I go along. Well, when you talk about health, you gotta start with the body, right? We don't understand the body, you know, and we don't have a lot of critical thinking nowadays, and we aren't taught these things in school, so we're susceptible to being fed misinformation. For instance, in school, you know, they constantly tell us that, you know, we can get germs, bacteria, illnesses, and so on and so forth from across the room. You know, like, you know, cold, the flu, this can fly across the room. And it's completely not true, you know? And if we did critical thinking, we would know that. But, you know, I give this to people all the time because a lot of people go, no, I can catch a cold from across the room. No, there was a bug going around. If you think about it, if you can ever return your programmed mind back to zero at any point, you'll realize that the whole bug or stomach bug thing, it comes from a television screen. Like, it was never anywhere. Nobody ever saw it. You know, nobody ever saw it. Yeah, man, I saw his stomach blew in my crib. You know, there's a whole bunch of them. Then it went in my sister's room. Then she got it. And then nobody ever saw it. You heard it on a TV screen. You know what I'm saying? Donica McIntosh, health is very controversial in general. Yeah, it's going to get controversial. Shit, especially when I'm talking about it. Hold on, let me see what you just said. How did you get into health as far as veganism? Honestly? Oh, God. Why'd you have to ask me that question? You couldn't ask me something else? You couldn't ask me an easy question? You know, you couldn't ask me about, like, fat? You know? Damn. You couldn't ask me, like, you know, what's better about organic? You couldn't ask me something simple? All right. I got into veganism because my body wasn't functioning correctly. My hormones was off. My penis wasn't working. I was sweating profusely. I was extremely emotional. And this all came from doing steroids and playing semi-professional football for 2 years. In the semi-professional football league, in a semi-professional football, you see bacteria over a microscope. Don't worry about bacteria, Ronnie. I'm going to get to that in a second. But I played in a semi-professional football league. And basically, in the semi-professional football league, there's no regulations, you know what I'm saying? And you can do steroids if you want. I played for a little bit, and I was pretty good, you know? But after a while, you know, I was running into corners that were like, you know, 180, 185, you know, 200 pounds, you know? And I'm just like, yo, what is going on out here with these dudes, man? Like, you know, how are these dudes hitting? You know, and I'm sitting around, I'm looking, and next thing you know, I'm realizing everybody's doing steroids, you know what I'm saying? So, And that's why, you know, I tell people all the time, when it comes to health, you know, you got to know both sides. You got to know the health side and you got to know the nightmare side. You know what I'm saying? So I did steroids. You know, I started doing steroids. What I started doing was I started doing D-ball. If anybody knows anything about D-ball, whatchamacallit, if anybody knows anything about D-ball, Chris said it was a girls' league. You know, Chris, it wasn't a girls' league, man. It wasn't a girls' league, man. Because let me explain something to you in semi-pro. In semi-pro, you get guys that come down from the NFL or come from like top college places that got injured, and what they do is they come back to the semi-pro league to make a name for themselves and train. And when they come down to do it, they come down with their performance enhancers. And we were getting, I was into it. You know, I was into it. The whole entire league was into it. Like, it wasn't, when you're in steroids, you tell, you know, when another guy does stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, other heroin addicts can see other heroin addicts. You know, other pill popping people can see other pill popping people. You know, alcohol people can find the alcohol people. Steroid people, we know steroid people. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anyways, you know, I was juicing, and I was taking D-ball. I was taking Deca. I was taking, you know, a lot of stuff. I was injecting steroids in my thigh and my muscles. I was running out of spots. Like, I was doing, you know, I was doing damage to my body, but I was jacked up. You know what I'm saying? I was jacked up. You know, I was jacked up. I was solid. I was big. You know, fucking ego was going. You know, you had that, you know, the rage and everything. But the thing is this that a lot of people don't understand, and this is what drives football players crazy. This is why they end up in the situation they're in. This is why, you know, you've seen that whole epidemic with steroids and baseball players. It's because it's not maintainable. You know what I'm saying? It's not maintainable. For that 2 years that I was doing those steroids, I couldn't come off. If I came off of those steroids for like 2 months, I'd get depressed, yo, because my testosterone, and I've told y'all this before, when it comes to men and their sense of well-being and their happiness and their livelihood and their serotonin, their testosterone level is key. If that drops, their quality of life drops. And so if you could imagine my nuts not making any testosterone or hormones for me because I was injecting it and popping the pills, and then when you stop, it's not like your nuts go, oh, okay, I'm back, I'll swing in action. They still got to start slowly trickling back. You're supposed to take things like a pill called Novaldex, Nolvadx, and there's something else called Proviron, Proviron. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can research these things, you know, because the people in the industry know. Some of y'all may not know what I'm talking about, but if you do juice, you know. So you have to do these things in order to return your nuts, your hormones back to normal. If you don't, they don't return back to normal. And if you don't got tests in your thing balancing out the estrogen, guess what happens? Estrogen. That's what happens with the boobs. That's what happens with all the emotions and the crying and the, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know, I remember that state. I was, you know, I remember getting an argument with my girlfriend and crying and stuff, and it was because I was emotionally on a imbalance. I was emotionally imbalanced because, you know, my testosterone levels were off. As simple as that. You know what I mean? Then at the end, when I wanted to come off my everything stopped working. You know what I'm saying? My penis would go up and then it would just go down. It was just like, it was just not working. And for a man, I'm telling y'all right now, yo, if your penis don't work, again, we going back to quality of life, man. It's just like, everything else stops, yo. You got to get this shit going. You know what I'm saying? And me, I wasn't a, pop a pill, quick fix type of person. I was just like, yo, I really need to fix this shit. Got online. I'm looking at all this stuff. My brother ended up sending me a video about some animals getting tortured in like a factory farm, and the pigs getting all slit up and hung up and all this other stuff. And while this is all going on, I'm doing all this other stuff, and I'm trying to eat better, and he's sending me all this other stuff. So now all this stuff is happening. And then, like, my boy Scott at work started talking to me about fucking matter and energy and how, you know, everything is made out of different energy. So I'm getting all this conscious bombardment. All this shit is happening. And I'm coming off of steroids, and I'm trying to figure out my body, and I'm scrambling. I was in scramble mode. I was like, yo, I gotta figure out what the fuck to do. I gotta get my dick working again. This shit is not happening. I'm supposed to be the fucking man. So I went, I started doing all this research. I'm looking for anything that'll boost my testosterone naturally, you know? So I ran into the Tribulus terrestris, the Tonkat Ali, the maca root, the Hishu Wu, also known as the Fo Tai Tea, you know, and the ginsengs and the roots. And then I started to understand how, you know, the roots and or the root herbs are tied into the root chakra, which is like your sexual chakra. And that's why they feed and or stimulate that energy there. So now I started to do my research naturally to restore my testosterone back to the normal level that it was. But at the same time, I wasn't going to be stupid because, like I told y'all before, you can't just go and do one thing. And that's what a lot of people want to do. They want to keep eating the chicken, keep eating the fat, keep having the fries, keep having the ice cream, you know, keep having their snow crab legs, their fucking Nutella, baked macaroni and fucking cheese and bacon and shit. And then they want to go, hey, what's that herbal detox cleanse you got? Yeah, I want to know what that herbal cleanse is because, yeah, I wanted to take some of that. Like, it's not that simple. You can't, it doesn't just go like that. You know, it doesn't just go like that. You know, I couldn't just go and, you know, do, you know, 2 or 3 weeks of some herbal stuff and then, you know, jump back into steroids, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't go like that. You know, you got to switch over and you also have to remove what caused all the problems, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. I got online and I started to see the food and this, that, and the third, and erectile dysfunction and this, that, and the third. And I'm looking, and I'm like, Dad, man, I'm eating all this meat and steak, because that's what I was doing. I was eating meat sauce and steak and, you know, burgers all the time. You know, protein. You know, your fucking brain is protein, not knowing you're fucking up your kidneys, because my kidneys was messed up too. You know, I had, you know, problems, and that's what people don't understand, you know. At high protein, the kidney problems, you know, the high rate of fucking black people always at the motherfucking dialysis getting picked up to go get their kidneys worked on. All of this shit ties in to the same exact thing, you know, what it is we do to our bodies, how that all ties in. So that was my state of how I was when I was on those steroids. And so when I got to a point where it was time for me to come off and I was all messed up and I did all this research and stuff, I realized I had to change my diet and I had to get rid of the food. So I X'd out the meat, I X'd out the chicken, I X'd out everything. And, well, actually I didn't. At first what I started doing is I was eating organic. And what I would do is I would have the organic chicken, or I'd actually get the organic beef. Now, mind you, this transition only took maybe 3-4 months. 3-4 months, okay? And out of two of those months was just salmon. The first 2 months was like trying to figure out, you know, how to eat a healthier, you know, lifestyle. But I picked up regular chicken, and then I picked up organic chicken. When I did research on erectile dysfunction, I realized that a heavy amount of cholesterol and plaque in the arteries is something else that clogged up the vessels around the dick, which slowed down blood flow, which caused a problem with erection. So you don't want that animal fat and all that shit up in there. But when you go to look at a conventional chicken, you're looking at organic chicken, and I looked at the packages and I looked at, you know, per pound and everything, cholesterol and saturated fat, they're both the same. So the fact that I was eating organic chicken and this, that, and the third, it's not like it went inside my body and my body was like, oh, that's organic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's organic fat or organic artery plaque. That's organic mucus. My body didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? So even though I still wanted to continue in my chicken ways, I consciously had to, you know, be accountable for my thoughts and say, you still know you're going to be harming yourself. You're just going to be paying more for it and feeling better about it. You get what I'm saying? So that was that bout with that, and that's why that had to go. And then at the end, I went with the fish, and only reason I ended up with the fish because the fish actually had healthy fats in it, but it still was dead animal flesh, and it was still on a, what's the word I'm looking for? It was still on a acidic mucus forming level, you know, even on a pH scale. So, you know, that had to go. And it just, you know, it was an easy phase out because I didn't go with, you know, food, taste, and craving and what I want. I went with the way I felt because I was coming from a place of a shitty feeling. And once I got rid of all the meat, the steroids, the depression, you know what I'm saying? The fucking impotence and everything. And I started to come back into stuff and fucking, your fucking dick's working. You fucking starting to feel like fucking Superman and shit. Now you're just like, yo, hold on a second. What else can I do? What other herbs we got out here? What else can I do? How else does this work? How much stuff? You know what I'm saying? Because you just, it's like you get into like this health candy store. You know, anybody can tell you that gets into it. You know, they can feel it. You know, they had an ailment and they're like, yo, then that healed. Yo, then this healed. The next thing you know, I did this and then that happened. Then I went and did this. Then I went and I fucking climbed a fucking mountain. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because you get a high, and that's what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? I got a high from the feeling of being veganism, and I like that super feeling. I like the feeling of not being sick, you know what I'm saying, and not having to worry about that element of dis-ease of the body because I was constantly on a fucking mission to just maintain alkaline equilibrium, you know, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Man, even if I say had like some vegan junk food on like Monday, I'd punish myself for that for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and probably Friday and Saturday by just eating like straight raw food for the whole entire time. So it's just like, no matter what it is I ever did, I made sure that I was basically holding myself accountable. That's why, you know, anybody that knows me or, you know, knew me during my transition, they knows I was pretty hardcore. You know, I went from here to the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I understood, you know, what it was to have that ability, you know. But after the whole vegan thing and the whole, you know, health and improving your health and all that, you know, what's next? You know, what do you expand on next? And the next thing you know, it's the healing of the body. You know what I'm saying? And the conscious, you know, wisdom of what's going on inside the body and what's going on in the outside in the environment. Because, you know, there's 360 degrees and there's levels and there's angles to everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's important for you to have certain things in your head so that you understand, you know, where the battle is coming from, where the fight is coming from. You know, like I said, like I told people before, when it comes to germs, bacteria, and viruses, if we would have put two and two together, we would have understood that they can't travel through the air. Simply because if you have a look at a reverse osmosis system, it uses UV light as a purification system to purify, you know, parasites, viruses, bacteria, and fungi, correct? UV light. What is UV light? That's sunlight. What is this flu thing? Supposed to be a virus. You know, what is this cold thing? Supposed to be a virus. What is all this other stuff? Supposed to be bacteria. I want y'all to tell me, how can it travel through the air and infect people in all these areas if there's sun every day? There's sun. How's germs traveling outside in the sun? And not only that, you have to go all the way down and think on a scientific level, at the level of the virus or the level of the bacteria. Would you make yourself airborne if you knew you were just going to be eradicated in the environment? That doesn't make any sense. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. You know, because UV light purifies these things, and you can actually see it. You know, if you even go out in nature, you can see something like a fungus or bacteria. Where is it growing? It grows in wet, shady areas where there is no sun and or UV light. Add sunlight or UV light there, no bacteria, no fungus. It's real simple. Like, I'm not telling y'all nothing that y'all can't go experience or go, you know, see or go do for yourself. You know, that's just, you know, that's just the way it grows. You know what I'm saying? But knowing these things are very important. A lot of people out there, I was talking to a guy for like a few years. I kept telling him, hey, man, you got to change your diet. Hey, man, you got to change your diet. And then one day I seen him and he goes, yeah, man, I had to have my appendix removed. I was like, dang, man, that's messed up, man. He's like, yeah, but he said it's not a big deal, but, you know, I'm fine. It's not really a big deal. I'm fine. All right, I'm fine. Now, a lot of people get their appendix removed. A lot of people have surgeries. A lot of people get organs removed. And every time they have these organs and stuff like that removed, you know, just these doctors, the medical industry always tells them and gives them this like nice okey-doke feeling about how they don't need it, how it's not important, how, oh, it doesn't really do that much of a function. You know, it's not that big of a deal. You know, but it does. I'm going to read this here for you guys. And I want you to tell me, right? I want you to tell me, after I read this, I want you guys to tell me if your appendix is important. And after I read this, I want you to remember something very important. Because this plays a role in your life, in your child's life. It's very important. Because this organ that gets snatched out causes so much cataclysm of problems, it's absolutely ridiculous. Now listen. Research performed at Winthrop University Hospital showed that individuals without an appendix were 4 times more likely to have a reoccurrence of Clostridium difficile colitis. That is a bacterial infection, okay? Inflammation, all right? The appendix, therefore, okay, may act as a safe house for beneficial bacteria. When they say beneficial bacteria, what is beneficial bacteria? Those are what? Probiotics. So fuck everything else you heard. Before I even finish this right now, without even being a scholar, you automatically know the appendix makes me probiotics. You need that, all right? This reservoir of bacteria could then serve to repopulate the gut flora in the digestive system following a bout of dysentery or cholera, or boost the immune system following a mild gastrointestinal illness. Like I said before, it makes good probiotics to dump into your gut, your digestive system, to restore the gut balance if any illness or disease happens. That's what your appendix is for. The appendix has been identified as an important component of the mammalian mucosal immune function, part of your immune system, okay? This structure helps in the proper movement and removal of waste matter in the digestive system, contains lymphatic vessels that regulate pathogens, and lastly, might even produce early defenses that prevent deadly diseases. Contains lymphatic vessels. Your appendix is directly attached to your lymphatic drainage system. Your lymph system is your detox system. That is the garbage disposal. That is our sewer system. Our sewer system that we use, that funnels our shit, that is your lymphatic drainage system for your blood, which you need, which runs your entire body. That's where your blood, that's the cleansing. That is your sewer system. Your lymph, that is what the appendix is attached to. Let me continue going. Additionally, it is thought that this may provide more immune defenses from invading pathogens and getting the lymphatic system's B and T cells to fight the viruses and bacteria that infect that portion of the bowel and training them so that immune responses are targeted and more able to reliably and less dangerously fight off pathogens. There are different immune cells called innate lymphoid cells that function in the gut in order to help the appendix maintain digestive health. So no matter what anybody tells you, you need your appendix. If your appendix is not there, okay, because you know, when I went to research this and I saw Clostridium difficile colitis and all this, I just knew it was because of mucus and inflammation. I just knew that because of the itis that's at the end, automatically. I'm not a fucking doctor, but I know some shit, you know? And I just take the tiny little shit and I go through my Rolodex to figure out other shit. And when you see itis on anything, It's mucus. And, you know, Dr. Sebi, you know, he's the one that, you know, laid that seed in my brain. And I'm not going to forget that. You know what I'm saying? You see, what they call your skin, you know, mucus comes out of your skin, dermatitis. Mucus calcifies in your joints, arthritis. Mucus in your lungs, bronchitis. Mucus in your throat, laryngitis. You know what I'm saying? And it you know, it goes on and on and on and on and on. But the idea is your lymph system and your appendix are directly tied to each other, and they're very, very important, and you need it. And there's absolutely no reason, like Dr. Sebi said, for you to have your body cut open, because the body never came with a zipper on it. So there's no reason for you to cut it open. So when you run into issues, when you go into these doctors, instead of submitting yourself and saying to them, you know, what should I do? Run these tests, blah, blah, blah. Ask them what the problem is. What problem is? The problem with the appendix. They're telling you they want you to remove the appendix. You don't want to remove that. The appendix, when it starts hurting or it starts getting inflamed, it's getting inflamed, and what you need to do is you need to restore your body and you need to restore your gut flora. You don't need to have it removed. And you need to understand in any given situation, and people need to understand this, especially when doctors are talking to you about surgery or any problems. You know what I'm saying? What did she say she had? Diverticulitis is someone came to me the other day and said they had. If you got diverticulitis, you don't go in there and start taking a whole entire bout of antibiotics. You don't do that. You get new blood every 3 months. If you get new blood every 3 months, why don't you give your body time to clean the shit out of your blood? Give your lymph time to drain for 3 months for you to get brand new blood so that you can heal your body. Because if you notice, if you have an addiction or problem to anything, if you can clean your blood of that for 3 months, you can be clear of that. The idea is to stay clear of it for 3 months. That's what makes it less, you know, whatever. You know, your cravings will dissipate because it's not in your blood. Whatever you start to consume is going to be in your blood, and it stays in there for 3 months. Like, if you like honey buns and you're eating, don't go eat one honey bun, because 2-3 days later, you're going to want another honey bun. Why? Because it's now in your blood. Some people, you know, keep asking vegans, oh, you don't miss this, you don't miss this, you don't miss that. Fuck no, it's not in our blood anymore. The craving for bacon or animal meat, it's not in our blood. So we're not craving it because it's not floating around in our blood. And it takes you that long. You know, your body only builds itself on what you put in it. So if that's what you're putting in it, that is what, you know, your body is necessarily going to be craving. Until you get new blood. Once you get new blood, you know, it's a full turnover. It's a new thing. You know, it's like a job or a company. You know, when they come in there, it takes time for them to clean out all those employees. When they bring in those new managers, they bring in their people and start firing everybody else. And next thing you know, you look around and it's just, you know, the whole place is different. There's new signs, there's new this, the desks are moved, everything's around. You know, but hey, who knows? Productivity might be up. Some things might be getting done. Somebody might get a promotion. You might even get a raise, you know, because you got some new blood. It's the same thing inside your body. You know, it's the same exact thing inside your body. They're talking to you about your gallbladder or something like that. We know the gallbladder, you know, gallstones is, it handles fat. You know, it handles fat. You know, if you're going to the doctor and, oh man, you're having a problem with your gallbladder, boom, that tells you right there. I don't care what fucking itis they put on the end of that. I'm not even looking that up. I don't care what itis they put on the end of that. You know it's inflamed. You know there's mucus involved. You know you got to get rid of that shit. So automatically switch to a liquid diet. Change your diet for 3 months. Change your diet for 3 months. Once a month, if you're one of those hypochondriacs, you really feel like, you know, I got to know what's going on in my body, go to the doctor. But just use their equipment. Just use their equipment. Don't go in there. Don't fall for the hoopla. Don't go for everything. You do your liquid diet. You cleanse your blood. You know what I'm saying? You use what else is there? What else kills the blood? What's that stuff? What's the green stuff? There we go. Use chlorella. Use activated charcoal, because activated charcoal it has It has a high surface area, and it extracts, it draws in toxins in your body. So you drink like a cup, you know, put a teaspoon or, you know, whatever that in a cup a day. You drink that, you know what I'm saying? So that, you know, it absorbs the toxins inside your body, you know what I'm saying? And you cleanse, you know, you cleanse your body from the inside out. And you do this for 3 months while your blood cleanses itself. And you go in there and all you do, because this is what I did with my mom, all you do is you use their machines for their test results. Oh, how is my gallbladder doing now? Oh, it's doing better. It's doing a lot better. Thank you. That's all you need to know. You know? How's my blood pressure doing that? Oh, my blood pressure, this is that. You do not take that blood pressure medication. You do not take that MAO inhibitor, the dinners, the blah, blah, blah. You do not take that medication. You don't take it. You go home and you change your diet. You go, man, I got to stop eating those turkey legs and then mashed potatoes with that cornbread. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to mention that. They're going to put that whole haze over there and they're going to say something real simple like, limit your salt intake. Yeah, you really got to watch that salt. The salt! They know what's on your damn plate. The salt. The sugar, the fat, the starch, the complex carbs, the extremely horrible combination of food that you got on your plate, and then just like, the salt. And so you're sitting there like, oh yeah, he said I just got to be easy on the salt. They don't put salt in the food, they don't season the chicken with salt, they don't put salt in the mashed potato and salt on this, but you know, I'm taking it easy on the salt. You know, you can't do that. When you get these things, because the crazy thing is, people never come to me when they, you know, they're feeling a little down, or it's always, you know, man, I just talked to the doctor. He said, man, they need to cut me open. They need to remove this. Like, yo, why did you wait that long? What were you doing? And it's not like they weren't told. It's because you go to the doctor. They give you the okie doke, like I said. You go back. You take the pills. You keep eating the crap. You take the pills. You keep eating the crap. You take the pills. Next thing you know, then a heart attack comes. Then they get the triple bypass and everything. Instead of doing all that, you simply change your diet. They go in there and hit you with the whole scare. You go, oh, what I gotta do? Oh, these pills. Oh, they got new heart pills. Oh, they got, you know, statin pressure. Oh, this will help with all this. Oh, yeah, great. Go home, juice, change your diet. Remove animal products from your diet. That's it. And then go back a month later and then see if you still have high blood pressure. You're not gonna have high blood pressure. You know, go for long walks. You know, start eating healthy and just being healthy. It's real simple. We make it so hard. You know what I'm saying? Say, oh, my such and such has got diagnosed with, you know, heart disease or, you know, high blood pressure and da-da-da. They send you home with all these pills and you just start taking them and you become, you know, one of their fucking cronies and now you're just pumping up the stock market. You know what I'm saying? Now they're just chilling back in Hawaii with their boys, you know, and all they did was fucking write that scribbly ass, pathetic ass signature on a piece of paper all year long while you sitting back just dying and suffering. No, I can't do this. I'm on my medication. No, I can't do that. I'm on my medication. Get on juice. I hate seeing people when they're, you know, they're sitting back and they're suffering, you know, because of ignorance. You know, they're sitting back, they're taking the pills, and they're sitting there, they got the sleepy, the heavy bags under the eyes, you know what I'm saying, from the water retention, from the water pills and everything, and it's just like, man, like, do you know some green juice? Green juice would do you wonders, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Some chlorophyll, you know, drinking some of that would do you wonders. You know, some spirulina would do you wonders. Some vitamin K would do you wonders, you know. A lot of people don't realize that if you don't eat green leafy vegetables and stuff, you don't, you know, green leafy vegetables or cruciferous vegetables, you don't get vitamin K, you know. So a lot of people are vitamin K deficient, you know, which causes a whole cascade of problems. A lot of people are iodine deficient. If you don't consume, like, Irish moss, you know, especially like Irish moss in like the kind of like more of the raw form, or just at least take an iodine supplement, you don't get iodine. Like, you just don't get iodine. Like, you don't have iodine. People, everybody, Some people have been fucked up for so long that they don't even know they're fucked up. Some people have been fat and out of shape for so long that they just think that's them. Some people have been just extremely skinny and scrawny and unable to put on a pound for so long that they just think, I have a high metabolism, and I just not realizing you actually have an imbalance. You just haven't figured out you know what I mean? Like, you haven't figured that out yet. You know what I mean? And, you got people with hypothyroidism, and you got people with hyperthyroidism. You know what I'm saying? And, one will be like, oh, man, I can't gain any weight. And the other one will be like, man, I just can't lose any weight. Not realizing that they both have the same exact problem with the same exact solution, which is you supplement some iodine, you give yourself a good, decent form of selenium. You can supplement with, pill form selenium if you want, or you can go to natural form of selenium in the form of 2 Brazilian nuts. Because Brazil nuts, also if you're fellas, Brazil nuts, they boost your testosterone. If you just eat 2 Brazil nuts a day, they boost your testosterone by like a lot, by like 100, 200%, something like that. But Brazil nuts are really good for your testosterone and for your manhood. So Brazil nuts, but they are heavily concentrated in selenium. Like you can just taste it. They're heavy concentrated in selenium, and your body, my apologies, your thyroid, when processing iodine for the T3 and T4 hormone, needs to uptake selenium as like a precursor for its process. So you need selenium for the absorption and/or process of iodine, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Make it make fucking sense. And why am I telling you to supplement and/or go to Irish Moss? I'm telling you that because it's not in anything. If you look up iodine-rich foods, it's in nothing. You find like 10% in like a bowl of yogurt, or you can find 15 or 20% in like a bowl of raw cranberries. Sometimes you got to think logically. Are you actually going to ever just eat a big bowl of raw cranberries ever and just maintain that? No. So you have to figure out what it is you can get into your body and maintain on a regular basis, so that you can maintain that level of iodine that you need to maintain your system, so that you can maintain your weight. And the government knows. We don't know. You're going to fucking find out right now. But the government knows about this iodine thing. That's why if you look on that pathetic ass salt that you shouldn't have in your house right now, you should have, if you're going to have a salt, because salts are not, they're flavor enhancers. They're not necessarily good for you. But if you're going to have one, you should have a high quality salt and/or a pink Himalayan salt or something of a higher grade of salt. You shouldn't have the low quality salt. But going back to what I was saying before, you see on salt it says this is not this does not contain iodine. This does not contain iodine, a necessary nutrient that, because what happened was our soil got depleted, and scientists did a lot of tests and realized we were depleted on iodine. And they started to make iodized salt. That's why you see this iodized salt. But that salt is poisonous. So I wouldn't look, take, eat, or even consider that a source of iodine. What I would do is I would go out, I would find me some either Lugol's iodine, or you can use, it's just a dab. Right? And basically, you don't have to taste it. You don't have to taste it. Basically, a few drops on your wrist, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? A few drops on your wrist, and you rub it in, and then that's it for the day. If you got a shirt or something like that, a nice shirt, just don't do it with your shirt on, but in a few seconds, it absorbs right in, and it says apply 1 to 2 drops on your wrist. And if you look it up online, it tells you how much iodine it gives you. I put about 4 drops. I think that's about 4,000 mcgs. That's how much you should be getting a day. Actually, you should be getting somewhere between 4,000 to 7,000 mcgs of iodine a day. But what I'm trying to tell you is you're not getting any. Iodine is not in a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that you're deficient in. And not only that, like I told you before, you also need selenium to uptake iodine. So even if you are getting a small trace amount, if you don't have the selenium to uptake it so that it can do what it needs to do, it can't do its job. You get what I'm saying? It can't do its job. The same thing like a B vitamin. B vitamins, in order to be processed, they need to be attached or bind to an amino acid. That's why if you ever look on any B vitamins you ever buy, or you ever look on anything, when you go to take those, it says take with food. Why? Because they're expecting you to be eating an amino acid so that it can bind to the B vitamin. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why something like vitamin D, it's something else. That's fat soluble. So you need a fat, for that. You know what I'm saying? To process it. You know what I'm saying? Everything isn't just cut and dry like, oh, I can take this and I can do this and I can do that. The body has complex ways that it, works with different things to break things down. This right here, I made this like, I don't know, 2 months ago or something like that. This just sits in my refrigerator. It just sits. It's still, this right here, this is sea moss. It's sea moss. It's still gooey. It doesn't smell like anything. It just sits in my refrigerator. It's been sitting in there doesn't taste like anything. It just tastes like water. It sits in there. I go take a spoonful, just a spoonful. But this right here, just spin it. I don't know, this might last, I don't know how much longer it's gonna. It can probably last another 4 months, 5, 6 months. But I take a little spoonful, put it in some hot tea, and that's it, man. That's like my iodine joint right there. And that's rich. That's purple, Irish moss. That right there is the, that's the, from Jamaica, that's the, from Purple Paradise. That's that primo, you know what I'm saying, iodine right there. So that's, that's another source that I use, So you got 2. You got, this is gluten-free, organic, vegan, non-GMO, so on and so forth. Your body's gonna, pick this up as iodine in your blood, very fast. But, that right there is a bioavailable thing that, that doesn't come with all the goddamn minerals on the planet. That right there comes from the ocean and has all the minerals my body needs. That remineralizes my body. So remember that, all the minerals and iodine, just iodine. All the minerals and iodine, just iodine. You know what I'm saying? You knew he was coming. You knew he was coming. You knew he was coming. He can't miss a show. My man never misses a show. What's up, bro? What's up? This guy. No, but yeah. Health and the connection to the human body and being able to think and know how to heal your body, Sometimes, I just wish I known these things, a long, long time ago. I wish I knew this stuff a long time ago, so that I could have told people, what their issue was. Some people don't even realize that when you have really, really stinky, crappy breath, say your breath stinks, right? You got like halitosis, you can't go around people, you're ashamed, right? Because your breath stinks, right? Why does your breath stink? Let me tell you something right now. Anytime you come across those people, because everything's connected. It's like this wonderful, beautiful connection. You can just, once you start to understand health in the body, you can just see everything. And when you see these people, because I've even dated a girl, when you see these people that have these issues with their breath, you're going to notice 2 things. They have a shitty ass diet and they have kind of like a shitty kind of attitude about them. You're going to always, because these people are backed up. These people shit like once every 2 to 4 days. They eat garbage food. They constantly got meat rotting in their gut, and their diet is almost mainly basically protein and sugar. And if you talk to any of these visuals with this garbage breath, you guys know this. Their diet is protein, sugar, cigarettes, alcohol. Protein, sugar, cigarettes, alcohol. I don't care who it is. I don't care who or what. Throughout my entire life, anybody with the halitosis, anybody with the bad breath had one thing in common. They had a diet and a lifestyle that backed up their digestive system to the point where it was just a fucking compost heap of a fucking sewer, and it just started to just fucking emit from all the orifices of their mouth. Pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Now that I went in on y'all stink breath ass motherfuckers, I'm gonna tell you how to clean it up. What you have to do is you have to do the same way I cleaned up my lymph system and got my testosterone back up and got my dick back working again. You gotta do the same exact thing. You have to remove the McDonald's, remove the chicken McNuggets, remove your turkey bacon wrap with the extra mayo. Remove your dumb fucking ass Subway sandwich that you think is fucking healthy because, yeah, I'll take the hearty Italian with the fresh bread, but ain't nothing fresh in that motherfucker. Ain't nothing that fresh in that bitch. The fucking chicken's like 2-3 months old, processed fucking water meat, the fucking tomatoes are genetically engineered. The fucking cheese is probably ain't even goddamn cheese. The goddamn fucking jalapenos, you already know. I told you, ain't no such thing as green jalapenos. Those motherfuckers is unripe. The fucking tomatoes and everything else is all vacuum packed in fucking chemicals. There's nothing fresh about that. So,